As always, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Get your score predictions in those comments. What is up, guys? It's James from Cop Logic. Welcome back to the channel. It is a match preview for the EFL or the Carabao Cup semi-final, leg 2 of 2. It's Fulham versus Liverpool away at Craven Cottage. Liverpool, of course, going into the game with a 2-1 lead. That is a 1-goal advantage. We're going to dissect and take a look at what that means for this game. So, obviously, it's not that long since Liverpool played Fulham in the first leg. There's not too much point, I don't think, in looking back at past fixtures or anything like that. We know the form of Fulham. We've only just played them. We know the form of Liverpool. We're in a really great place right now in terms of what we're doing with the players that we have. We've still got a lot of players missing due to injury, and obviously we've got that fresh injury for Mo Salah as well, which is a bit of a hit. Some positives are that Curtis Jones seems to be fine and will be available to play. And in terms of the other injured parties, I don't think anyone is going to be back that wasn't available for Bournemouth. Obviously, Liverpool are going into this with a 1-goal advantage, and, you know, there's pros and cons to that, believe it or not. First of all, for Liverpool, you know, if you're going in with a 1-goal advantage, essentially it's 1-0 before the game even kicks off. It makes the first goal absolutely massive, because if you score that first goal in the game, doesn't matter when it comes, as long as you score that first goal, you are in control then. You know what I mean? A 2-goal lead, you can dictate the game. It's absolutely huge, the importance of this first goal, because obviously if Fulham get the first goal, then it resets everything, and it's all of a sudden a game of football again. So first goal for Liverpool is absolutely massive. And obviously starting a game 1-0 up is a huge advantage, and that's probably reflected in the win percentage there for Liverpool at 50%. Now, I think you might be surprised that it's only 50%, but I think, to be fair to Fulham, they've given us two very, very close games at Anfield, which is important to mention. Obviously in the league, the 4-3, but also, you know, it was only 2-1 in the first leg, and that again was at Anfield. And it's important to stress that these games are at Anfield because, of course, this away leg is going to be at Craven Cottage. That is going to give them some sort of an advantage. You know, they won't have the pressure of that crowd around them. They're going to have the home crowd with them. That is going to give them a bit of an advantage, and they're definitely going to have confidence off the back of the two performances that they've put in at Anfield as well. So I don't think it's, you know, cut and dry that this is Liverpool are going to blow them away. But of course, going in with a 1-goal advantage, it is massive for Liverpool. And if they get that first goal, it is massive for Liverpool. The counter, however, to that is that going into the game 1-0 up, what it means is that if you look at this from a Fulham point of view, it's do or die. You know, if you want to get to the final, you have to win this game. It's a semi-final. It's as straightforward as that. It's not like the league where you can afford to drop points here and there and hope to pick them up in other games. Like, they have to win this game. And really, one way of looking at it is that the game doesn't really begin for Fulham until they score a goal, right? Until Fulham go 1-0 up, the game doesn't really start. So if you look at it from Fulham's perspective, what they want to do is get 1-0 up as soon as possible. So you know they're going to press. They're going to come out the blocks all guns blazing. And I think, you know, for maybe the first 15-20 minutes of this game, Liverpool are going to be under sustained pressure, and it's going to be all about, for Liverpool, I think, riding out that wave. If you can get past the first 20 minutes without conceding, you've got a real chance in this game, because Fulham are going to tire. You can't keep that level of pressure up for much longer than that, and then that's when Liverpool can start to play and hopefully get a little bit of freedom there. I obviously expect a lot more possession for Fulham in this game than what we've seen in the other fixtures at Anfield, but yeah, I think the first 15-20 minutes are going to be absolutely crucial, because Fulham are going to absolutely come for it, because ultimately they want that goal as fast as possible so that they can start playing football, because, as I said, the game doesn't start for them until they go 1-0 up. Equally though, for Liverpool, maybe that plays into our hands a little bit. You know, we are a very good counter-pressing team, and we've got some very fast players in the squad. If Jurgen Klopp picks the right team, and I'm sure he will, you know, he's a genius, that, you know, there are players that could benefit from that in terms of hitting them on a counter and getting that first goal, which then gives us the 2-goal advantage, and then we begin to dictate the game. So Fulham coming at us in the first 20 minutes is potentially plays into our hands, but of course it's always a threat, because Fulham are capable of scoring against Liverpool. It's going to be much harder at Craven Cottage, where they've got the home crowd behind them, who are going to be right behind them as well, because again, this is a semi-final, and for Fulham, a club like that, you know, winning a cup, winning one of the domestic cups is huge, so they're definitely going to be up for it. I think they're definitely going to come out the blocks firing in the first 20-15 minutes. So for Liverpool, I think you've got to ride that wave. If you can get through those first 20 minutes without conceding, then I think you can start to play football. And then if you get that first goal, you can start to dictate the game. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry, maybe as you would expect going into it with the advantage. I think they're going to be confident with the games that they've played against us already, the results that they've gotten. They're going to feel more confident because they're at home, and, you know, just by the very nature of the game and what the fact that we're going in with a 1-goal aggregate lead means is that Fulham are gonna absolutely throw everything they've got at us straight out the block. So this game, I think for Liverpool is gonna lean very heavily on the defensive lineup because, as I said, the team's gonna be under pressure, and that's not just the back line that I'm talking about. I'm including the midfield and that, you know, we've got to think very strategically about what we do all the way back, really. You know, I know that Jurgen Klopp likes to get even the forwards involved in the defensive side of the game, but I think the midfield is going to be crucial. The back line is going to be crucial because we've got to get through those first 20 minutes. If Fulham score in those first 20 minutes, you best believe that crowd are going to absolutely lift and the place is going to go crazy, because then it's a game of football again, you know what I mean? For Liverpool, it's about getting through those first 20 minutes without conceding. Of course, what that means is that the team selection is absolutely crucial, and that is what I want to take a look at here. So let's jump into the team selection. Starting with the goalkeeper, it's obviously Craven Cottage because it's his competition. Obviously, Alisson Becker, you know, I think just the very threat that it's going to be a heavy press from Fulham in this game. I think you would love to have Alisson Becker there, but let's be fair to Craven Cottage, you know, he is an incredible second choice goalkeeper, the kind of goalkeeper that could go to any other club really, and I think the reason he stays here is because Jurgen Klopp gives him these promises of things like, I'll give you the entire cup, you know what I mean? If we make it to the final, this guy's going to play in the final, and I think for a goalkeeper as good as he is, that is only second choice. This is the kind of thing that makes him sign contract extensions and things like that. So to be fair to him, I have no problem with him being in goal there. Let's start with the fullbacks because I think it's fairly obvious. We're going to go Joe Gomez left back. We're going to go Conor Bradley right back. Fantastic outing for Conor Bradley against Bournemouth, and the same can be said for Joe Gomez as well. You know, and he even got moved to both sides. He started on the left, finished on the right. Joe Gomez has been an absolute unsung hero for Liverpool Football Club this season. I think I might actually do a video about that maybe sometime this week. But I mean, Joe Gomez, he has been so integral to this Liverpool side, and if we win anything this season, he's going to be one of the players alongside a couple of other unsung heroes that I think deserves so much credit. This guy is playing any position we ask him to play in. He's probably been one of our most consistent players all season. He is doing the lot. He's doing the job wherever we put him, whether it's centre back, right back, left back, and he stayed fit, which is surprising for Joe Gomez, a player that's injury prone. It scares me every single time we play him, you know, back to back in games, because you just worry that injury is going to come. But I mean, he's just been outstanding so far this season, and I think everyone at this point is praying for that goal to come because he deserves it. And I think if anyone, you know, collectively as a fan base, I think everyone now, if they could say, if there's one player everyone wanted to score, it's Joe Gomez. He deserves it. What a player he's been so far this season. There's definitely going to be some shouts for Jarell Quansah, but listen, it's a semi-final. It's a semi-final. This game is massively important. It's leg 2. We're already up with the goal advantage, so you've got to expect, like, look, we have to go on and win this. We're one game away from a final at Wembley. We have to go and win this. I got no problem with Jarell Quansah, but I think, as I've already mentioned at the start of the video, this is a game that's going to lean very heavily on Liverpool's defensive capabilities. So for me, I'm just going as strong as possible on the back line. That is obviously Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. We've got an FA Cup game coming up against Norwich where we can afford to rotate players and rest players. That'll be the game for me where Jarell Quansah plays, but not this game. In the defensive midfield role, it's Alexis McAllister. No other choices really, but what a game and what a performance he put in against Bournemouth. He was going to be my man of the match until obviously Jota stepped up there with 2 goals and an assist. You can't really give it to anyone else. So big shout out to Diogo Jota for that performance. But Alexis McAllister, unbelievable performance against Bournemouth. You know, he's another one that I think is going a little bit under the radar at Liverpool in terms of the quality he is outputting. No matter which position he's in, whether that's a central midfielder or whether it's a defensive midfielder, it doesn't matter. This guy's doing the job. Massive signing for Liverpool. One of the best signings of the summer, I reckon, in terms of across the entire Premier League. The midfields, I'll do them together. I'm going Ryan Gravenberch because he didn't start against Bournemouth. You know, rotation is important to some degree. I just think, you know, he didn't do anything wrong when he came on either. Looked solid. So Ryan Gravenberch can go in and start this game. Now, I'm putting him on the right because on the left, I'm going Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones obviously plays a lot better on the left than he does on the right side. There is an option there to play Harvey Elliott. I know Curtis Jones had that little bit of an injury scare, but he's apparently okay and he's apparently fine to play, so I'm playing him. And I also, you know, I could see Harvey starting maybe for a precaution. I could even see Gakpo starting in the midfield, to be fair. But now I'm going Curtis Jones because I just think he offers a little bit more control. And as I said, control is going to be massive for that first 15, 20 minutes. So if Curtis has to come off in the second half, that's fine. But I think how we start this game is going to be absolutely integral and key to whether or not we win it. So for me, I'm going Curtis Jones because I just think in terms of his ability on the ball, this guy, by the way, is so hard to take off a ball. He has such good control with the ball at his feet, and I think, you know, again, that's often overlooked because he's a very rash player sometimes in terms of when he's a little bit further up the pitch, he likes to blast shots like skyward and whatever. Like, there's definitely some sides to Curtis's game that I don't like, but in terms of as a player that can control the midfield and run a game, he is that player, and he can dictate a game when you get him in that mindset, and that's something that Jurgen Klopp's going to have to do. But yeah, very hard player to take off the ball, which means he's a kind of player that can control a midfield if we need him to, and we're definitely going to need him to, especially, as I keep saying, in those first 20 minutes. So I'm going Curtis Jones. That's the reason why I'm going Curtis Jones over Harvey Elliott. Now, the forwards I think are interesting, so I'll probably do them all three together here, but yeah, let's do all three together. So I've been saying for a while now that I think Luis Diaz on the right side was a revelation against Arsenal, and I still believe that it was, but I think what we've seen against Bournemouth in the second half was Jurgen Klopp realised in the first half what he was doing wasn't working. Second half, he moved Diogo Jota out to the right and he put Darwin Núñez down the middle, and that completely changed the game. And the reason that changed the game was because I think, first of all, something as Liverpool fans we're probably not used to seeing is a right-footed winger on the right side, because obviously Mo Salah plays there week in, week out. Diogo Jota offers us something a little bit different that maybe teams aren't used to, certainly as fans we're not used to, but having a right-footed striker on the right side, what it does is, first of all, it means that Jota has to play in a little bit tighter than the likes of Mo Salah would, because obviously if you're a left-sided right winger, you want to be a little bit further out so that you can open your body up and get those shots off. If you're right-sided, you can't afford to do that, because the further out you are, the further out your dominant foot is, and then it's going to be much difficult to get those angles where you can shoot and score goals. What it means is if you have a player like Diogo Jota on the right side, he's got to play a little bit tighter into the central striker, so you essentially create a tighter front three unit. And I think what we discovered against Bournemouth was that really works very well for Darwin Núñez as a central number 9. The ability for those three to be nice and tight with each other, sometimes even in the box together, creating those little first time 1-2s to each other. You know, we've seen Darwin Núñez benefits massively from just being able to strike a ball first time without thinking. What we've seen from Diogo Jota being on that right side is that generates those chances much more often. Jurgen Klopp changed a lot of things in half time. One of the things he did change was he swapped Jota and Núñez around, put Núñez central, put Jota on the right. It closed the front three in together, made them much more intricate, made them play off each other a lot more, and that benefited not only Diogo Jota, who got 2 goals, but also Darwin Núñez, who got 2 goals. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, and I'm going to say that I want to see it in this game. And then the reason I've gone with Cody Gakpo on the left wing is because we can't keep leaving him out. He's too good of a player to keep leaving him out of games or keep leaving him on the bench all the time. He deserves to start at some point. I'm giving him a start in this game, but I also think, look, when he came off the bench against Bournemouth, he got himself an assist. He was involved in the game straight away. He's always involved in the game when he comes off the bench. He deserves a start, and we didn't get a goal from Luis Diaz, so if you're going to drop one of the front three, it's got to be him. Gakpo can play off the left, but I think what we're looking at here is a very fluid front three where all three of them can play in all 3 positions. So we're probably going to see a lot of interchangeable moving parts, very fluid forwards there, which can be hard for a team to defend against, but you know, it also gives us a lot of options. It gives Jurgen Klopp, again, the ability to change the game at half-time if he needs to, simply by moving players about. So let's see what happens with that. But I think it's an exciting potential front three, again, without Mo Salah, and it gives us more options. If Diogo Jota can do a job there and Luis Diaz can do a job there, it gives us some options to look at while Mo Salah's out. So yeah, I want to see more of it and see what we can do with a full 90 minutes of it. So that is why I've gone with that as my selection. That's my team. In terms of the score, I've already spoke at length about how hard of a game I think this is going to be. I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as people think it is. So I do think it's going to be a close one. But again, if Liverpool get that first goal, they can begin to slow the game down and dictate it a little bit more, probably have a little bit more possession. So I'm hoping that is the case. Liverpool ride out those first 20 minutes, they get the first goal, and then I think it is quite a tight game, and I'm going to go Liverpool. I mean, realistically, if Liverpool draw this game, we still go through, so, you know, I'm going to go, that's not what I think is going to happen, by the way. I'm going to go a Liverpool win. Liverpool, I'll say 2-0. I'm not confident that we keep a clean sheet, honestly, because we're going to get absolutely hammered in the first 15-20 minutes, but I'll back that defensive line. I mean, Van Dijk and Konate were unbelievable. Van Dijk is just, he's back to his best, and that Bournemouth performance showed us all that. So yeah, I'll back him to keep a clean sheet. I'll go 2-0. As always, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Get your score predictions in those comments, and if you can, it would mean the world to us if you could like the video, if you are enjoying the content, and as always, share it with your friends, do whatever. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and get yourselves back here for the next video, where we will see you guys, as always, in that next video. Peace.